Welcome to PC Gaming Tech Summary. I'm your host, Gamer. And today we're going to do the build log for the Alder Lake computer. So, I filmed a bit of it as I went through building it. And, I took my time. It took quite a while. About a full day. Full day into the night. The most daunting part was the wiring, and it's very difficult to film because a lot of it is so small. But one thing that I did that really helped was I printed out the schematic of the motherboard, and then I could look up, if I didn't understand any of it, I could look it up and see what they were used for. Enough chit-chat, we'll get into it. Thought I'd complete the unboxing of just a couple items. The NVMe M.2 Generation 4. Okay. So most of the NVMEs are Generation 3, and the newer ones now are Generation 4, which are faster and need to have the Generation 4 connector on the motherboard. So I'll just open her up. Okay, there are rescue services included, I think for a few years. All right. Come back on this side. There it is. Do you want me to take it out? Okay, and we're gonna use the best thermal paste that we could find with the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut. Oh, that's stuck. Okay, so it's a gram. Even has a little spatula. Okay. All right, so it's basically to prevent counterfeiting or help prevent counterfeiting. There's a way that you can confirm that it's a legitimate product. Avoid eye and skin contact. Keep away from children. Contact a doctor immediately if swallowed or after eye contact. Clean the contact surface, the CPU heat spreader and CPU cooler with a dry cloth or high percentage isopropanol. That's rubbing alcohol. So you want like 100% if you can, if you have it. You don't want to use like a 5% or a 10%. You want it quite high, like 90 to probably 90% or above, I would guess. It says high percentage isopropyl, which is rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Apply with included spatula. Use the included plastic spatula. Apply approximately 3 by 3 drop of thermal grease and spread it evenly. Apply the thermal grease very slowly and with a little pressure. Okay, option B is to apply without spatula. Apply an approximately 3 by 3 millimeter drop. The pressure of the heat sink will then spread the thermal grease evenly. Okay, so we're in the midst of our 2022 Alder Lake 12700K Intel build, computer build, PC build. And this is not a how-to guide. This is just a video log or blog of the experience of building the computer. So the plan is at the moment to test everything out on top of this motherboard box and this anti-static bag. We know that the video card is working, so we won't install that. We'll use the onboard graphics because the 7700K as well as a 7700 have onboard graphics. Now, if the chip had the code of F, that means no onboard graphics. So you would have to have a video card installed in order to get an image on your display, as far as I know. Okay? So it is summertime where I live in New Zealand, and it's quite warm and humid. And I do go ahead and discharge any static. I can do that by touching my metal PC case, which is grounded to the outlet, power outlet. Okay, so we've got the bracket here. Even has some tape that's gonna go, and that's gonna go on the back. I'm just trying to get this tape off. I got fat fingers here. There we go, there's one. All the videos show that you put the CPU in first before you put the bracket on. So, okay, well, if that's what you're supposed to do, that's what you're supposed to do, I guess. Okay. So that just came out. Just came over like that. So the pin's there on the socket. It looks good, never been used. Okay, so there appears to be a little gold dot in that corner. Very small and hard to see. So I had to press down on that, and there's a little bit of a bump, or it's raised. The metal comes up here on this apparatus, and so there's two little prongs here. So you want this to be going down upon those prongs, from what I can tell, and then this comes off. All right, this protects the socket, so you hold on to that, you don't throw that one away. Just the bracket installation of the MSI Mag 240R AIO all-in-one liquid cooler. So you have this and you have that. Okay, so what happens is eventually you're gonna be going like that, okay, with the liquid cooler mounted. So from what I can tell, this is how you do it. I'll put it over here, a bit easier to see perhaps. So we're just gonna screw that in. Not too tight, probably. Okay, and so eventually put the liquid thermal paste here, and then the head, the block. It's actually a water block. The pump is in the radiator, and then that goes on that. Okay, so let's just put the other ones in. And I'm just wondering if I should install my M.2 or if I should wait. It'd just be so much easier to do it now. Oh, different size screws come out of there. Okay, so you've got the tape sticky here to stick to the M.2. I'm not going to apply the heat sink yet, so we'll just try that. Yep. So that's not moving. Okay. so very small storage device, hey. Nice, I like these NVMe's. I'm just gonna put the operating system, the Windows 11, on the NVMe, and once that's all installed and everything, then we can sort of fix things up, put things together. Is my idea at the moment. Okay, well, I think I'm going to install one side of these cables into the motherboard to clear these out of some of these out of the way. There we go. It's in, there's no space there. CPU, so there are cables that are labeled CPU. Okay, it's got 8 pins, and so they seem to be securely in. Didn't hear much of a click, but there's no space in between. Okay. So which is this one? PCIe Express. So that's for the graphics card, and there's 8 pins on the graphics card, so we'll just leave that for later. And I think I'll need one SATA for the case RGB. Okay, so that's where that goes. RGB, okay, that we, since there is no pump head in here, no pump in there, it's just for the RGB effect. So we can plug that in the top. It's 3-pin, okay. So that will be plugged in the top. Okay. Just gonna take the plastic off. So I've been able to see the pattern of the thermal paste being spread. So that's very interesting. So I saw that the technique of using two lines, very small, skinny lines, would cover it, and that did do a pretty good job. So I remember to take the plastic off the cold plate in time. It's the long screw I was looking for. Okay, so the wire coming out of the pump's in the radiator. The wire coming out is got space for 3 pins. Okay, and it's very difficult to see on here, but there's only one way to attach it, to go through this bit of plastic, these 2 raised plastic sides. There we go. So I just had it in the wrong way. Okay. So the next one we skip and go to the far right one. And I'll put it in this way with the label. Okay, facing the CPU this time. So I'll open. Okay, click and click. So those are all clicked in. Okay. Okay. So 24 pin ATX. Yep, here's the clip here, so that should go in there like that. Yep, and same with the additional ones here. Okay. CPU. Okay, so here is a big clip here, and a little tiny raised plastic there, and then on the other side it's just got the clip, so that's gonna fit into this side. The clip, there's a hole below. There's a hole below those where those pins go. So if you put it in like this, that'll click in like that. Okay. And it says 6 + 2 PCIe and 4x4 PCU. See, I've got two CPUs. Okay, so with the Corsair Platinum HX 750, you have a choice of single or multiple. So it came switched to multiple. As for the 12-volt rails. So having it on multiple gives you better overcurrent protection. So I'm just going to leave it on that the way it came. Now there's 6 pin here, female end. And there's 6 here, and then it goes to 8, 8, 8, and 8. Okay. And then down here it says peripheral and SATA, and it's a 6 and a 6. Okay. So I'm gonna plug, this is the second, this is another 8-pin for the CPU, and that just goes in one way. Has the notch. You'll see it when you go to. Okay. So I just had Windows 11 hang up on gathering information. I did a reset, and I'm updating the BIOS at the moment. Get the most recent BIOS. I did hear that some of the first BIOS had problems with Gen 4 NVMe, so this is the very latest from MSI. I had it on the USB stick with the Windows 11, so reset the computer and then hit delete to go into the BIOS, and then click the flash, and then it asked me what file I wanted to use, and then now it's just updating it. Okay, so I'm going to try and carry on with Windows and see how we go. I got a really cheap Windows 11 key online and used PayPal so that they, can't track financial stuff or whatever, just a bit of safety. And yeah, it took the code and now it is installing, and it is a Windows 11 Pro retail version. So the 12700K, of course, has onboard graphics. So I've just got this plugged in to the motherboard, this display. Don't need to put the graphics card in at this stage, just trying to get everything else up and running. Make sure it's going to work and there's no faults with any of the hardware. So I think that's the problem, was the BIOS needed to be updated so they could handle that Gen 4 NVMe better. It's a brand new NVMe. So I didn't have to do anything formatted or anything. And there you go, Windows 11. Welcome to PC Gaming Tech Summary. I'm your host, Gamer, and we're in the middle of a computer build. 12700K Intel, Alder Lake 12th generation. And yes, always a bit nervous, you know, something's gonna go wrong, don't want everything to go right. Most things are going right. Tested the computer outside on the motherboard, all the parts outside of the computer case. Had a bit of a problem jump starting the computer, so I just attached the on-off switch in the back into the motherboard and was able to get it on. And the BIOS, I believe, might have been one of the original BIOSes, and needed to be updated so that it could more easily format and use that Gen 4 NVMe. So once I updated the BIOS, then Windows 11 installed all right, and it was actually pretty quick. So that was nice, and so now we're going to put the parts in the case. So I'm just dealing with wiring and all that kind of thing, installing all the parts. I've got the radiator on the top here. That actually is about the only place I've felt comfortable with. Unfortunately, there's not enough room with the power supply down here and the radiator, which would have been nice. And I don't want to put it here. I don't want to block the 200 millimeter fans because they're like 800 RPM, very quiet, but it's just a light breeze that comes through. So I was able to see some of the RGB lighting on front, and there's a little button up here you can change the colors and that kind of thing. So now I took the plastic off the heat sink there that's on the thermal pad, and stuck it on and screwed that onto the NVMe because it's all working good now. I've cleaned up the CPU. I've taken the thermal paste off, and now we'll put on the good stuff. When we're ready to do that, we're going to put on the thermal grizzly, which is the best. And then just doing it step by step, slowly, and taking my time. So at the moment in the back, so there's the front, of course, fans. So all these wires here and everything came with the case. So it's RGB and the fans going in there, as well as there's a LED switch there. Okay, so so this is the back of the bracket that's got the tape on it, so you're able to stick that, which is quite nice. You're able to put that on the back and stick it so that you can mount the liquid cooler. Water block. It's not a pump head, it's a water block. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to use these, like I said, and so just dealing with all that. So I did install the IO shield first here, and so now the motherboard is poking through there. All right. Well, this is quite a slow process, so I may not film every little bit, but that's how we're going, and I'll just keep at it. Thanks for watching. So here's the power switch, reset switch, and a couple power LEDs, power lights, and they get plugged in down here, so it's like going to be impossible for me to show, but looking in the manual, you really need to look in the manual so you can figure out where to plug things in to which ones. Just temporarily using cable ties, twist ties, and then I'll go back and use cable ties. Welcome to PC Gaming Tech Summary. I'm your host, Gamer, and now we unveil the glass by peeling the plastic, which is very appealing. Here we go. Well, if you'd like to see some more videos about Windows 11 and the Alder Lake build, I've got quite a few ideas. We've got resizable bar and yeah, all sorts. So just subscribe and you'll get notified when those videos are ready. And thanks for joining us here on PC Gaming Tech Summary. And don't forget, you'll be seeing me in the next video.